I can't believe it's time. Hi, Corn Dan. Who's probably working on something. Hi, everybody.
I mean, I am working on something.
It's me again, your lovely host. Again. Also doing commentary on this race because I love Zadette. Zadette is the greatest video game anyone has ever played. And there's... You know, I'd say there's proof, but like, you'll just see as we play this video game. Oh, I have to put my headphones in or else I cannot hear Corn Dan. That's a big problem when it comes to trying to do commentary with a co-host.
That is important, yeah.
Alright, I need to talk to Corn Dan. Corn Dan, you are muted.
Well, I am no longer muted.
Well then, well welcome, hi.
So, this game is amazing.
This is one of my favorite games I've played this year.
It is wonderful. I will say that this is one of those games, honestly, it's legitimately a good game. It falls kind of under the weird side of things because it's intentionally made this way.
And it's very deliberately designed, if
yes.
that's a thing you could say.
Yeah, very much so. If you've seen things like Sword of Sudan, that's what this is going to be.
Sword of Sudan. This is a better game than Sword of Sudan.
Well, I also agree.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Well, let me see if they're ready to go. Because I think we can get this started.
I'm ready to get this started. Alright, I need to watch your stream and not the live stream.
Yeah, that will be less of a delay.
And because this is Real Gamer Percent, everybody, I've got a can of Mountain Dew.
Alright, we're giving them a countdown here in 3, 2, 1, go.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Zadette. Immediately, what you're going to see in this video game is the greatest pink hair in the universe on mooware's screen. Because you can very easily modify the sprite for your player character in Zadette.
So they did.
Yep, it's all just JPEG or PNGs. So you can have fun with that. You can make this game whatever you want and modify it as much as you like. But this is a game about determination. This is a game about moving forward. This is a game about never being able to turn around.
Because real heroes never turn their back on problems.
All the problems, for the most part, are in front of you. Hopefully.
Yes. So, right, remember when I said this is like Sword of Sudan? It's intentionally made with this large thing mode. Everything kills you in one shot. And they're playing in real gamer mode, which unlocks the new final special boss.
Yeah, there is a secret boss at the end of this game, which you only get by finding the number of levels here, hidden objects in the game, and smacking them with a sword. mooware hitting one there, and you want to kind of time it so you hit that snake at the same time.
Yeah.
Because swinging the sword takes like a full second, so...
Yep, everything in this game is all about being committed to the cause. Right, when you start jumping, you go. When you start swinging, you swing, and none of them are fast.
Oh yeah, and we have our first death, as Neetsel has fallen to pieces.
Now, there's infinite lives. You just hit continue after this, and it puts you back.
Yeah, you do have to play the whole stage again, so deaths can be costly in this.
However, you know, right, most likely, we will be seeing other deaths, so it's probably not that bad in the grand scheme of things on this.
Yeah, if everyone else runs deathless, I will be shocked. This is our first boss. Slime with a face and then another face. And you kind of want to time it so when it's shooting, eyes will flash, and when it starts flashing, you can kind of back up a little bit and take a swing so you can hit the boss and the projectiles at the same time. It's much harder than you think, as we see on NPC screen.
Yeah.
Because that thing... Go ahead.
it's like this game is, I mean, these guys make it, especially TenMicu, who is the current world record holder, by the way, right? Makes it look super easy. This game is insanely hard.
And now this boss is dropping spikes. I want to talk about spikes for a hot second. The little spikes on the ground, obviously they will one-shot you. They are the hardest things in the universe to jump over. As we see all three players eating it on spikes.
I mean, fortunately, TenMicu ate it after defeating the boss, and so if you do that, you can move on.
Yep. Well, as long as you don't do it too fast.
Right.
And just like that, Neetsel is pretty much caught up with the other runners.
Yep. And I would not worry too much about it, once again, about deaths here, especially when we get to the real gamer % boss.
Oh god. The real gamer % boss has too many hit points is what I'll say. But it's for real gamers. Sorry. If you haven't played this game and done that, then I don't know what to tell you.
So, you know, I will say I don't own this game. I've definitely seen a lot of it, right? Gone through with NPC on a lot of this. I do not, like, I would not be able to do real gamer mode here.
It's hard. It's really, like, legit. Like, the rest of this game, like, it follows rules, and I feel like you can follow those rules and know what's going to happen, and the bosses have very set patterns with no RNG until you get to the final secret boss, which is loaded with RNG, and some of those moves seem impossible to dodge. Sometimes can literally be impossible to dodge.
Yep. There are definitely patterns that can happen on the final boss where you're just gonna die, and that's just how it is.
Yep. You just gotta accept it and then just try it again. So we're in our second stage, and the stages are very varied. There's a lot of different environments here. Obviously, everything will continue to one-shot you if you let it. That tentacle tries to tickle you to death, and so does that snake, apparently. There's a lot of things where this game, like, there's no RNG, so you will scroll the screen to the edge.
There's very limited RNGs. Like, some of the spikes are sort of RNG, but they're mostly, like, still based on a pattern. But that can change based on where you are. But there's not like RNG in terms of, oh, they're gonna drop 4 spikes this time instead of 2.
Yeah. God.
So Neetsel's getting right now the second item needed, and if you've noticed what they're attacking there, you might get a feel for what the real gamer % boss is.
Oh yeah, no, they are. It is a big clue as to the end of the game. So
I'm not going to spoil it, you know, but
oh yeah, no,
you should take notice.
TenMicu's now in the cave. The cave has spikes on the ceiling now. That's your big change. And these blue snakes. The blue snakes, when you swing, always try to back up. So you need to basically swing when they're close enough that you'll hit them, but they won't hit you. Also, going underneath that spike is the scariest thing in the universe. Alright, we have Neetsel on the second boss. Neetsel, who is initially behind after dying to the first boss, is caught up into second place.
And NPC's not that far behind.
Not at all. This is going to change. There is a lot of things coming in this game. Our intrepid hero, I believe his name is Zadette.
Yep, and he lives in the land of Zadette.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure the person that we're going to go save or whatever is also named Zadette.
Yeah, I think so. And it checks out. You'll see a lot of players when they jump over spikes. Watch how they walk up to it and like stop and then jump, because it really is scary.
Well, your jump is so narrow, right, in terms of how far you can go, that you basically have to get, like, it's not quite pixel perfect, but it's pretty close.
It feels it. It's maybe like 3 or 4 pixels.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a lot of range, but so they're gonna get up and stop on it, right, to know that they're gonna be able to make it.
Mm-hmm. And you don't want to stop too close because you jump directly into the spike, which is not great too. TenMicu's on our little our water dragon boss, possibly. And it's pretty good. I like this boss a lot.
It could be a water panther or something too. We don't really know, but I'm sure it's a water dragon.
It looks dragony to me, but you know, I'll accept it. But again, set patterns on all the bosses. A lot of our runners here will probably just be mowing through them pretty quick. The first boss to me is the most frustrating one, aside from the Real Gamer % boss, though.
The other one that's frustrating, and I can't remember. I think it's World 5.
Is it the face?
Yes.
You know what? That one's not too bad. I took me a while to figure out how to easily get that, but you know what? You can kill that boss real fast. It's one of the fastest ones.
But it's also one of the ones, like, if you're not prepared for it, right, that boss is going to wreck you.
Oh yeah, no. The first time I got there, immediately it spawned in and I died like just basically right away. And TenMicu's in a minecart section because all video games have minecarts.
Yeah.
The minecart section also, like, you can spawn things in a little bit too fast, and it gets real dicey with those robots after going over or under some of these spikes. Like, that window to walk under the spinning blade on its own is terrifying. And there's a point where it just spawns a robot as soon as you go underneath it. Like that. Oh, it shaves your arm a little bit. It's scary. Sorry to cut you off.
No, and I was gonna say, and that's, you know, where I was gonna point out that the pattern of how this goes, right, is always going to be the same, but sometimes the placement of some of those blades, it's going to be off a little bit. And so you actually can get in a situation where you're probably just going to beef it, and there's not much you can do about it.
Mm-hmm. And TenMicu found a glitch where you can get into this minecart section without the minecart, but it is literally impossible to complete without the minecart.
So if I remember correctly, the minecart boss isn't really that bad, right? It's just back and forth, and then...
Yep, it shows what it's going to do pretty clearly when it happens. So you can just kind of mash it and just be ready for the fireball on top and the blade on the bottom.
Well, since everybody else is on the water dragon, we didn't really talk about it much, right? The big attacks on the water dragon are spikes that come either from the bottom or from the right-hand side of the screen.
Yep,
they're pretty well projected, so you can figure it out.
Yeah, it's very... Yeah, no, what you said is pretty much all the words that needed to be said there.
Also, look on TenMicu's screen at the bats.
Oh, the bats are amazing. Also, this section here, we're now in, like, the sky something. Yeah. And this is a terrifying stage in its own. Like, there's these rotating blades which are new. They are bad, and they should feel bad. And everyone taking a moment to fight their little thing that unlocks the ending. Should your children's first game be this or Dragon's Lair NES? Obviously this.
Oh, this is legitimately this game. Legitimately, no lie, right? You know, this game is in here because of the way it kind of parodies games like Dragon's Lair and Sword of Sedan and stuff like that. This game is legitimately good, and it's purposely laid out in a very bad way, like as part of its aesthetic.
So people are mentioning, obviously, like, it's hard to have Barbarians without someone mentioning Macaw, but Macaw has, like, the dev released, like, box art for this game, basically. And it's got quotes from NPC and Macaw and I think someone else.
No, yeah, it's NPC and Macaw. The dev put it out the first time this went in the Steam sale.
Mm-hmm.
Right, that was their promotional image for that, was quotes from NPC and Macaw.
I thought there was a third person in there, but yeah.
There might be, but that's not important.
And then NPC, because NPC is a very generous and wonderful friend, bought like 17 copies of this game or something.
Something like that.
And just sent them to friends.
Wouldn't surprise me if the dev also provided some in that respect. I don't really know.
And anyway, here's this nightmare fuel, this face in the wall that's very terrifying. And as long as you're on the far left side of the right platform, it can't hit you with the face part. You should be able to kill it until it charges, and then it will be able to hit you. but you kind of want to stagger your sword swing when it starts to move down, so you can get the pattern of hitting the fire laser eyes nicely. And now it's going to charge, smack it in the face. Excuse me, sir, this is my personal space. Then there's a blade behind you just in case. There's so many gotchas in this fight. They're wonderful. I think... Oh! TenMicu didn't kill the thing before it happened. It has to refight the fight.
Yep. So remember when we were talking about, oh, okay, everybody likes to die, to be like, ah, I died while killing the boss and moving on. That's what happens if you time it wrong.
I don't know if that was a swag die. I think that was just, this game is hard die.
Could be accidental.
It reminds me of Donkey Kong, but also kind of reminds me of like Planet of the Apes in a lot of uncomfortable ways.
It reminds me of, there is like an old school DOS game, and I'd have to dig it up, right? I'd have to go look it up, but I know I've seen basically that face before.
Oh dear. So now we're on our only flying stage. Whereas Zadette now has wings for some reason.
Because that's how things go. Sometimes you just have wings.
This level, despite being an auto-scroller, the enemies do exist in the world, and a lot of them being the snake boat, which I have cursed so much in my life.
I'm not gonna lie, if there was a 3D model for the snake boat, I would probably print it.
You could always make it.
I could, but I don't think I could make it with the same level of fidelity.
So every enemy in this level activates when you get close, so you can kind of time when you're going to have enemies run at you by staying a little bit to the left, so you get a moment to see them come onto the screen before you approach them. If you just stay to the right side, or a little bit too far to the right, these things will just fly at you from off screen. You will never know what's going to happen, and they will maul you, and you too will curse the name of Snakeboat.
Or you'll do what I did and laugh mercilessly at NPC as NPC gets wrecked by the snake boats time and time again. So, chat's saying that TenMicu is just so far ahead, and the answer is right now it doesn't matter. Right? Because everything that's gone on so far basically becomes immaterial when we get to the last two bosses.
Oh, absolutely. And if TenMicu one-shots them, then okay, yes, then this is a lead. But that last boss is the first time they introduce RNG, and then Real Gamer Present is also the time they introduce RNG. For the most part, there's where the first boss places spikes is a little bit random, but...
Right, so, but I would not worry about who's in first right now until we get to the Real Gamer boss, who you should still have been looking for clues for their true identity.
There will be a test later.
There will be a test, and the answers will be revealed when somebody gets to the Real Gamer boss.
I'm really wondering, since you can modify every single sprite in this game.
I bet you could, but why would you want to?
Oh yeah, I mean, I want to make a Zadette mod personally now, because you can. But I'm also graphic design is not exactly my passion. I'm not very good at it, but you know,
I'm going to argue it's not theirs either.
I think they knew exactly what they were doing with these designs. But TenMicu's now in the final actual level. And honestly, this level's kind of a reprieve. You just kind of walk, look at the city, there's a few snakes, nothing's too bad here.
Until you get to the boss.
Oh yeah, no, the boss is I think this boss has flashing in it also, but
yes,
not
there
much.
is. We should have a flashing warning. The last two bosses definitely do a bunch of flashing.
Yeah, it's the first phase isn't so bad. The second phase, it's going to get really, really colorful, and I want to see pride flags as well. Also, I think 37 minutes was an estimate that I wrote, because that's what my time was when I initially submitted.
That's pretty reasonable, honestly.
especially for dying on the last boss. Like, I think TenMiku's time is sub 20 now.
Yeah. I mean, you see, TenMiku's only died a couple times. It's like 18 minutes, and we're at the final boss. Right? Whose attacks are snakes and those kind of balls and stuff, right? And you gotta hit this guy like a bajillion, like 11 bajillion times.
Oh, the dev is in chat saying, we are allowed to mod Zadette, but please only do so with MS Paint.
Oh, absolutely. We will absolutely do that. Also, hi devs of Zadette. We love this game. Like, seriously.
Actually, this game is amazing. It's one of my favorite games of this year, so. Alright, so TenMiku's in the first phase of the final boss, but it's not so bad. It's a very set pattern. The orbs that come down are all not RNG whatsoever, so you're good to go dodging this as long as you know what's coming and just get your sword swings in. You can just memorize this fight from scratch. Yep, second phase, it's gonna start summoning things, and that's where RNG starts coming into play. Also, the dev is saying the secret boss is manipulatable, so, but it's very specific how.
Huh.
It was it can't be. Oh, it cannot be manipulated. It's just predictable. I'm sorry. My bad. My bad. I read that wrong. Anyway, when TenMicu gets to the next phase, or when mooware gets to the next phase, there's going to be it's not so much flashing, but it is kind of flashy. There's a lot of colors. I want to see some trans pride flags in chat, please. Zadette said trans rights. We're all here for it. This is not the real gamer zone. This is still just the final boss.
Yeah, we haven't even gotten to real gamer yet.
Chat makes me happy. Thank you, folks. So the boss is basically, you don't do anything to this boss. It just kind of hangs out in the back, but it tries to shoot. Well, it shoots lightning on the ground. It summons waves of enemies. And between those waves of enemies is when those enemies show up, or lightning shows up, and basically you just need to kill all the enemies, and the enemies that show up are random. So you just gotta learn.
It's essentially a survival mode.
I hate Blue Snake, but Blue Snake isn't that bad. I also really dislike Snakeboat here, but when you learn to just stay back far away, Snakeboat's not the end of the world.
I mean, the only downside with both, right, the snakes and everything, are if there's a lot going on and you finish up with the enemies that puts you in a bad position for the lightning.
All right, TenMicu is past the final boss. mooware is into the final phase of the final boss. TenMicu is going to get a small ending. I believe some credits will play, and then it's time for the final boss. There's a lot of flashing in that boss fight, so if that's something you're sensitive to, keep that in mind. You can look away. You can set the stream to half speed. I'm not sure what your options are, but just a heads up. Anyway, now we're in love with Lady Zadette. And they both yell, which is amazing.
Yeah, it's awesome.
That's the sprite swap I need to make. GG, or is it? Zadette, I'll fate you as Zadette. Now it's time to get ready for the great showdown. It's time to face your creator.
This is the best boss of all gaming.
It is so good. Again, there will be flashing. They only happen during certain attacks. When the screen pans out, there's going to be a tremendous quantity of flashing.
Yep.
It'll take maybe 10 seconds, and then the flashing will end. This boss's weak point is his mouth, or I think any part of it, maybe, but
the biggest downside of that boss is going to put in a whole bunch of spikes.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, they're dependent on where you're at, and so yeah, you very easily could get into situations that you can't really make it out alive.
Yeah, basically, there are spike positions that this game can put them in that are just like, you're not allowed to play anymore and you lose. Sorry.
Pretty much.
And you can take steps to avoid that, but it's not easy. But mooware and NPC are moving into the final boss. If TenMicu dies here at all, we are tied again.
Yep.
And this is the flashing that we had mentioned. It is a lot. It is very loud. Also, I made up a song here, and it's just don't jump. Well, it's not a song. It's just me shouting don't jump at myself over and over. Because if you jump at any wrong time during that, you will die.
Yep. Like any
NPC
wrong movement there at all. And you
yeah. NPC says when you jump and get hit by those, like when you jump at the wrong time and get hit by the vertical or the horizontal one, that's called a cat jump. And I couldn't be more honest. Yep, it's because I did it like 50 times. Alright, we have mooware fighting the boss, NPC is fighting the boss. Neetsel is getting to the end of the level, or getting to the previous boss. TenMicu might have this. This is a lot of hits, but there's a when the boss gets down to a quarter of his health, it kind of goes into a rage mode where there's no delay between their attacks. And that's a death. Oh, we're tied up again. Yeah, there gets a point where there's no delays between where the enemy attacks, so you'll start to see attacks coming way too fast to react to. You just gotta hope for a good pattern there. Otherwise, that's it.
Yep. And so, right, like, this is honestly still anyone's game. It's still Neetsel's game.
Mm-hmm. It can be anyone. And no one's in the final phase yet, so.
So you can see their NPC, and NPC's always kind of taking this. Instead of trying to be aggressive with the spikes, NPC takes it very conservatively.
That's what I do. It's better to survive.
Right, especially since the spike is so long.
Yeah, it has, I think, triple or quadruple the hit points of any other boss in this game. It's something like 70 to 90 hit points. I forgot the hit point chart, but we do have the count. Whereas most other bosses are like 20. There it is. There it is. mooware finishing the final boss, taking the lead. Well, the lead, you know, like the thing where you win the game. Time
takes first. I'm gonna let the
time is not when the boss dies. Time is not when the boss dies. Time is when you see the greatest player in the world certificate. You have come to the true end of Zadette, the best video game of all time, and delivered an outstanding performance. Tell everyone around you, and rest. You deserved it.
It's true. But I'm going to let the timer keep running until we're all done here. That was like 25 minutes. That's still a really good time.
Yeah, that's an incredible run. Especially for a marathon, especially for the nerves of a race.
Oh no!
Oh, NPC. Oh my gosh. This boss is mean. Neetsel getting into the final phase of the regular final boss. Yeah, that might be the only left-facing Zadette. This is like 9 minutes better than mooware's time on speedrun.com. Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Like, and mooware did this in a marathon recently and struggled with it, right? So this is redemption.
Yeah, I heard a lot of deaths on this boss, which is normal. Y'all should go out and play Zadette. For real. Go play Zadette. Neetsel's working through the trans pride phase. And just, it's TenMicu or NPC's game for second place here.
Yep.
Honestly, even if you have no interest in beating this boss, and that's a GG to TenMicu, the rest of the game is very rewarding and fun.
It's real. It's. I don't own it. I should own it. I don't own it. But I've watched enough people play it. Like even just watching people play this game is so much fun.
We have two greatest players in the world now.
No.
GG to our friends. Oh my gosh. The race for third is on right now. Like, Neetsel's not out of this, by far. Oh, wait, we're fine. There it goes. Alright, Neetsel moving into the final boss. The true gamer boss.
I mean, to put this in perspective, when things go right, TenMicu holds the record right now at 19 minutes, 32 seconds. NPC's not that far behind at 20 minutes, 40. And that sounds like a big thing. Oh, it's a minute difference, right? But, I mean, you see what happens here.
Absolutely. What is my time? Let's see. Watching this makes me want to run Zadette again. Like, I dropped out of this race because it was so frustrating. 32:03 is my time, okay. My god, this game is good. Next year, maybe we can have like a 10-person Zadette race.
I mean, clearly that's just going to be Big Bad Game-a-thon, a 80-person Zadette race.
Learn Zadette now and get in on the race in the future. I'll say that the biggest race I've ever seen streamed that I was a part of was an 8-way race of YY World 2. I got to restream that one. That was fun. All right, we have NPC and Neetsel fighting the true gamer boss. I like the frame drops on Neetsel, like the small skips on Neetsel's side, because it makes this boss a lot more dramatic to me. Aw, bummer.
I mean...
With this boss's attack, you see the hand punch. When it's blue, it can hurt you. When it's not blue, it cannot. But when it's not blue, if you're not jumping, it'll pull you into the boss, which will hurt you.
Yep.
Also, shout out to the devs showing up. It's like midnight over there.
Yeah, this is pretty awesome. I love it. You know, for the sort of games that we show off here, right? You know, we've had more devs than I ever thought who were willing to show up. You know?
Yeah, I mean,
whether
like,
in chat or actually over voice chat.
For the most part, this is a marathon about celebrating the uncelebrated in a lot of ways.
100%.
Although I think everyone should be celebrating this.
Oh, NPC.
NPC. Let's go.
And Faizu's comment in chat is correct. This game is legitimately good.
Yeah. Big GG's at the NPC. now known as another greatest player in the world, you too can become a greatest player in the world. Zadette.
Let's bring in some of our people who have won so far while Neetsel's finishing up here. I'm going to drag everybody else up to top.
That sounds great.
Oh.
Hi.
Hey there.
You made it. Congratulations, y'all.
We are the greatest players in the world.
It's true.
You really are. That was an amazing race.
What?
Go ahead.
So even the dev made it out to cheer you guys on.
I felt so bad about myself for screwing everything up, and then I did the final boss perfectly, but the secret boss so terribly. I had him like 2 times, and I screwed it up just because I was greedy.
No, it's very hard.
That's how this false does.
I'm sorry. No. I practiced it. I was greedy because I should not. If you're very close to him, then if he has that glowing face, you have absolutely no time to do any retort. And I just kept screwing that up. And that was my thing. But it was overall a decent run.
mooware set like a hella PB, at least according to speedrun.com. Congratulations, mooware.
Oh, what you got, mooware?
mooware beat you all at like 25 minutes-ish.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 25:57. My previous PB was my submission video for BBG, which was like 29.5 minutes. But yeah, this is way better than anything I got before, and I got incredible RNG after dying to the first boss a few times. And I think a big factor was also that one accidental dodge in the blue sky stage near the end. Somehow I got around that swinging blade, and I never did that before, but it just happened.
Yeah, I died once in level 5, and then I did the speed route by accident, so I was just happy about that. Everything else is like died in level 1, died level 1 boss, died level 2 boss, which that honked me off because I hit up and it did not like my up, so that's the reason why I died. But I'm sure mooware TenMicu say stuff. I'm just, being me and loud.
How did people like my anime here, Zadette? Cool.
It was amazing. So I want you to know that we were told by the dev that it is officially sanctioned to do those sorts of mods, but he prefers you do them in MS Paint.
Yeah, you're allowed to mod Zadette as long as you do it in MS Paint.
Okay, I will do it in MS Paint then.
That's what I used to get that image together that I sent you, so...
Well, the thing is, mooware was the one to find it. Mooware was the one...
Yeah, that's amazing.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Hey, we hear you now.
Oh, okay, yeah. Something messed up when we changed to host. Oof.
No worries. How that was great. Congratulations on second place.
Yeah. I died on the face boss twice.
Yeah, the one time, like, after you killed him, it was just unlucky or something.
And then third attempt on the mine boss, the secret one. Everything else was perfect, as I wanted. 28 for me. Oh well, it's fine. I'm happy with it.
Time. I mean,
a great time.
It's not your world record or anything, but it's a good time.
It's like after this. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you talk. Go on.
No, I feel so invigorated to go and try for the world record after this.
I might put down some more runs again after watching this. This was exciting as all heck to me. Like, I might just sit down and do more runs.
Yeah, go on.
I'm just seeing the anime hair on mooware's thing. It makes me smile so much.
Yeah, it's very stylish. I originally started looking into the files because I wanted to know the names of the enemies and the bosses, because the game intentionally doesn't really have any lore or text or anything, and so I thought I could look into the files and maybe there's a name in there or something. It's not really a lot of names for the enemies, and they're pretty plain. It's like just like bat and snake in French. But yeah, I did find out that the sprites are pretty easily modified.
Yeah, I'm really a bit sad that for Neetsel right now. Oh,
Yeah, I think everyone in this chat that has played this game has been there though. Just
No, we understand completely.
Yeah.
absolutely.
I remember I was on track for like a tremendous PB and then just 15 minutes on this stupid boss. Oh my god.
Yeah, developer doesn't care.
Sounds about right.
Oh, we've got multiple devs in chat now. Well,
Yeah,
possibly.
this was made by French people. Yep.
Yep.
I still don't know how I discovered this. I think it just somehow magically appeared on my Twitter feed, and I'm like, OMG, this is the most awesome game that's going to ever be created.
Yeah, I definitely saw it when McCall played it. That's probably what spread it a lot.
I saw people yelling about McCall wanting to play this.
I just saw the Don't Make Us Bored chat, and you said you had NPC said he had the 3 keys, and I played the Pure and the Grey Witch for a while. And he gave me this.
I don't have free keys. I just was gladly given anybody that wanted a copy of Zadette a copy of Zadette. It didn't matter.
I got a surprise copy of Zadette.
Bless you. Bless you, good sir.
What I found hilarious when I saw Zadette is when it was on Steam just released, there were like 3 reviews on Steam, and it was McCaw, Maikuyama, and I think maybe NPC too.
Yeah.
We're gonna promote this game. It's in Big Bad Game-a-thon, but we love this game to death.
I want this in GDQ. Holy crap.
I think this is a shoe-in for GDQ at some point.
I want it so badly in GDQ, just because I want this game to be, oh, he got the double spike, that's no fun.
Pile us all on the couch, let's go.
You hear that, GDQ? We want to play this.
I gladly race this again. No kidding. My hands was shaking when I was at the beginning.
Oh no!
Oh my gosh!
After, like, first boss, everything kind of. Oh no, Neetsel. So when do we call time?
Well, we'll see. Neetsel's typing in runner chat. We'll see what Neetsel has to say.
Oh. Frame rate issue and the attack doesn't work properly. The spikes aren't removed.
This is something that I just noticed today. The spikes weren't going away when the glove went back and forth. It just happened today because they always went away, and just today, for some odd reason, that glove wasn't 100% taking them off.
That's interesting. Oh, he started anew from 0. Whoops. Well,
demo.
I guess.
Yeah.
It's a demo.
Time, I guess.
Yeah, here,
We're about
we'll bring in Neetsel anyway to come talk. Right, and then we'll kick it over. So, fortunately, we have the devs. We have the devs in chat. So, both Arc Senpai and Killer Rain have seen this. Hey guys, help us out here.
Zadette 2, let's go.
Yo, Neetsel, you did awesome.
I would love. One of the things I always think about is, you know how they have the flying stage, and just making like a Kaizo version of that stage somehow. It'd be funny to have like a level editor where you could just do stupid stuff like that. I know it's not in the plan, but I think it would be hilarious to do.
Although, yeah, sorry. So I don't know if it's because I've had the game running like before the run, but I had like loads of frame rate issue. So why I had so many deaths, and I think it's the frame rate issue that, because I don't know if you saw it, but during the final fight, the spikes were just moved on the platform, which makes it. I mean, that's a nice way to put a hard mode on Zadette, but
Surprise! You discovered hard mode.
Yeah, my game was also a little bit slower than usual. Okay, so... yeah, go on, Neetsel, talk.
No, just that's it. A bit disappointed I couldn't clear this, and I don't get why I had so many frame rate issues, but it made the experience interesting.
Yeah, my game was also a little bit slower for some reason because I was streaming, I guess, and I had many things open. Other than that, well, everything went fine.
And it could, and the thing is, it couldn't have been Zadette without one of us being knocked out by the final boss. Let's be truly honest here.
Yeah, people need to know what the real Zadette experience is.
Oh my gosh! Yeah,
well,
like,
that's not the real Zadette. I guess I don't know if the devs are here, if they plan for that. Like, just that the spikes get below you every time.
well, they said they'll look into it. That it was weird behavior, but they noticed it.
Oh, that's
Sweet.
Nice.
But yeah, we love you, Dubs. Thanks for watching. We just
so much for popping in, y'all.
We love your game.
Awesome game. Thank you.
All right. Shall we? I think we've got more BBG. One more run. What do you say to one more run, y'all?
One more run? I think that's possible.
Yeah, one more run.
Bring it. Go on.
The bouncer.
And what a run it is. All right. Any closing remarks from y'all, or are we yeeting ourselves off the stage?
Thank you for having me.
Oh no! I closed the stub list. I'm just gonna guess at the stub.